It's time for a little bit of science. I'm Will Grant, an Associate Professor in Science Communication at the Australian National University.
And I'm Rod Lamberts. I'm a 30-year science communication veteran with the mind of a teenage boy.
And today, well, we've been at the Beach Large Hadron Collider.
Yeah, drinking in swimming cocktails. In fact, I'm still there. I don't know where you are.
Of isotopes and science and stuff like that. So rather than giving you our regular pile of science,
We've saved you something delicious. We've been squirreling away little snippets throughout the millennium, and you're going to get a bunch of those right now. It's going to be fab.
enjoy.
We know this, and we've seen it all the time. There is basically nothing humans can't make worse. Nothing. Like, as a rule, it's easy to be critical about this. You know, we say, like, fucking humans, we're stupid or assholes. But what I love about this one is it's that with best of intentions, we make things worse.
Oh, okay.
So I've often wondered, this is under the topic of wind theft.
Mm-hmm.
We've all heard of it. And by that all, I mean none of us, and me only 2 days ago. I've often wondered, with wind farms, right, with giant propellers,
Yes.
I remember thinking...
They're not propellers.
No, they're not, because if they were, the world
They
would
don't
be...
propel.
Don't they, though?
They take.
They steal.
Yes.
Wind takers. I've thought about this for years. What we're very good at doing is saying, this is an awesome source of energy or whatever.
Sure.
Let's go crazy.
Sure.
And then suddenly going, oh, shit, there's a side effect.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So there may be a side effect.
Uh-huh. Is this a side effect proved by science or a side effect
This is not conspiracy theory side
people
effect.
are worried about?
Can we be a hybrid? There's a bit of science in here. So apparently wind theft is starting to occur in wind farms across Europe as more and more power plants, renewable power plants, wind-based, pop up. What they're noticing is, yes, wind farms produce energy and the energy is extracted from the air, and that's fine. That does result in, at some level, even if it's minuscule, a reduction in wind speed.
Downstream. Yeah.
Downstream.
Yeah. You're of course literally taking energy out of that system.
They're starting to see wake effects.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wake effects. So offshore wind farms can create wakes that can stretch as much as 60 miles, which is, I think, 40,000 kilometres, give or take.
I think that's the
Roughly.
no one knows how to convert.
No, it's impossible. So what's that, about 100 Ks? But you're talking up to 100 kilometres wake effect. It may be smaller, it may be larger, depending on the size of or the number of turbines. Energy creation machines. They magically produce energy out of nothing.
Jesus Christ.
So the problem is now people are starting to see that the wake effect is growing, and the difficulty is as you get more and more concentrations of these things and you want to encourage wind farming for obvious reasons, you're starting to potentially detract from the appeal of the investment if they're too close together because these wake effects are starting to
I totally believe
suck people's wind.
Wind goes horizontally, and absolutely you are taking a bit of energy out of the system, and I totally believe that. I didn't know the scale of this happening.
Well, we're getting to the point where people are actually starting legal actions because you're plopping up a wind farm in a place that could have an effect on someone else's or the potential site of a future one. And so now there's actually at least Norwegian legislation and further that is starting to get ready to prosecute cases against this issue.
Yeah, I mean, look, no one would put solar panels underneath someone else's solar panels. You know that they're taking the light.
I wonder why it was so cheap.
No one is going to do it. But in fairness, like that's legitimate, and it is in a sense blocking of view. Like
it is legitimate. It is, but just the fact that I always assumed wake effects, etc. That didn't bother me. It didn't surprise me. But then when you start to see as larger farms go, well, this is another great tunnel of wind.
Yeah.
I want to put one behind, so to speak, this one. People are starting to get the shits, legally get the shits.
Oh, you put it in front. Well, putting it behind is not a problem. Like you can be behind me in the view. I'm not bothered.
The wake is behind.
Yeah, exactly. But no one's worried if you're putting a wind turbine behind. Like
the person who's bought the land and goes, wait a minute, there's already a wind farm in front of it. That's a problem. In front of it, relevant to the wind.
You can't sue the person who's got it. Yeah, I get it.
No, you sue the person who sold you the land, and you say, you didn't tell me.
Okay.
You didn't tell me.
No, fair enough. Okay, you're suing the person who's. What I was imagining is, you've got a wind farm here, and then someone says, I'm going to build a wind farm in front of you, and you're like, fuck, dude, that takes out 10% of my wind.
That ain't cool.
That ain't cool.
But I'm going to build one behind you. Oh, wait a minute, I don't get as much as I thought. Well, you're a dickhead.
You're an idiot.
Exactly.
It's already there.
Yeah.
Like it's like there's a high-rise building there, and you're imagining like the
view that could have been there.
The view that could have been there. It's like no, the high-rise is there.
Yeah, so the high-rise is there, and then you build your balcony behind it and go, hang on, I want to complain. No, the other way around. But it's also now the potential. So if you sell you sell a bunch of plots of land in a nice wind tunnel.
Indeed.
And someone puts up their wind turbines. And the person who bought the plot behind goes, dude, that's an issue. And apparently they're sniffing that it could be getting or moving towards getting bad enough that it could become economically a problem for the people who are putting theirs in the wake of others.
Wow, that's cool. I mean, not cool, but
it's intriguing.
It's an intriguing thing.
So my next question then is, and this is why this one grabbed me, was, well, what happens when, let's say, let's say there are 1 million wind turbines on the planet. What happens when there's 70 million or a billion of them?
Yeah.
One thing we're really good at is going, this seems like a great idea.
It's unlikely.
Let's give it a crack.
It's unlikely.
That's what they always say. That's what they always say.
Look, okay.
Next thing you know, the North Atlantic conveyor current is broken because of this changes in wind and there's no more krill.
Do you want me to let you in on a secret?
Yes.
Renewable energy is not renewable because one day the sun will die.
That's what Elon's worried about.
One day the sun will die. And it's like, you know.
But is that tomorrow?
No, it's not.
What if the wind dies while I'm still alive?
No. Okay. Here's one scenario. We go, all right, let's capture a whole bunch of wind and a whole bunch of solar.
Batteries.
And then one day, either the sun dies, not renewable, or we capture every single, we wrap like a Dyson sphere, we wrap solar panels
photon
all
captured.
around the sun.
Yeah.
Not renewable because we can't put any more. Yes, okay, it does max out. And then we go, all right, let's wrap them around the whole galaxy, wrap them around the whole universe. Yes, there's a maximum at some point. Shut the fuck up.
This is what they
this
said.
is not happening.
This is what they said about coal. That's what they said about cane toads.
This is not the same.
It's fine. There's no way it'll get big enough and bad enough to fuck people over.
Okay. Look, that is person in the year 400,000. They can deal with that.
It could be us.
Like it's not you. It's not you. And sorry, listener in the year 400,000, if in the year 400,000 that you have captured all of the universe's energy and you were sold a bill of goods that there was always more. Just think about it. I just wanted to tell you a story about a new piece of research that tells a sad story. It's a sad story of one of the particular fish of China, the Yangtze finless porpoise.
Finless porpoise?
Yeah.
How the fuck do they swim? No, they can swim. They have a tail, I assume, but they can't steer, right? They can't steer.
Well, they go straight then.
Until they hit something and get knocked in a different direction.
They're like a billiard ball of fish. They're just bouncing off the riverbank in every direction.
Finless porpoise sounds like the results of torture. That's terrible.
It does a little bit. People in China, they have noticed a lot of environmental degradation over the last few years. They've noticed a decline in things, and it's legitimate to think, okay, what might we have done to our species? So some researchers in China have thought, okay, how could we track the decline of the Yangtze finless porpoise?
Count them today.
You could count
and
them.
then count them in a month.
That would definitely tell you.
I have a science degree.
That would definitely tell you. Yeah. Or, you could look at like skeletons or something like that of finless porpoise. If you like fossil record and stuff like that, you might be able to look at sort of things they've left behind in the past. But these researchers
lost their phone or whatever.
They wanted to combine environmental impact studies and studying a whole lot of poetry. So
hell yeah.
So what they've done, and I just love this concept. They've gone through and they've looked through heaps and heaps of ancient Chinese poems, going back from as far back as 1045 BCE. So that is like, but they've looked for mentions of the finless porpoise in Chinese poetry, and you'd be like, are there enough mentions of the finless porpoise?
Finless porpoise, like a lotus blossom sinking to the bottom of the ocean and only going in one direction. You are like the eyes of my lover to be.
You'd be surprised, like, how many mentions of the finless porpoise there are in ancient Chinese poetry.
I'm going to say 12.
745.
That's what I meant.
These researchers were like, okay, that's enough that we could start getting some sort of idea about where they were. And
so this is the Yangtze poet school of ancient.
It's just all ancient Chinese poetry. But also, also they looked in and they could find through all of these poems. They've got heaps in the archive, and there's a bunch of people that have mentioned the finless porpoise because a lot of poets would travel, like they're the intellectual class. They'd often travel by boat. You go down the Yangtze and you're sitting on a boat, what are you doing? You're like, oh, I'm gonna write me a poem, and what can I see? Water.
It's a porpoise.
Water, oh so beautiful. Here we go.
Look at the sky. There's a tree. Oh, a sheet of fish without fins.
But this is the interesting thing. In about half of that number, they can. So these poems go back over 1,400 years. So there are older ones, but no mention of the porpoise before that. I don't think they found. Anyway, about half of them, there's geographical information as well. So it's
beautiful porpoise at longitude 732.
You'd be freaking surprised, man. Holy shit. I was like...
Is that iambic pentameter?
Okay, so I downloaded their spreadsheet, and this is wild. Oh, damn. So it's got the poem, and it's got the, it's got the region here in sort of easy, so the Yangtze River or a lake or something like that. Yeah. But it's literally got longitude and latitude of either where the poem is from, or I'll read you an example here. So
in the original language?
No, I won't in the original language, but
do it with the accent at least.
I'm not going to do that either. But it mentions something. Here we go. So this is Climbing the Yellow Crane Tower by Junlin. So this is about 500 years ago. Green smoke and fragrant trees in Hanyang City. So there we go. So it's like here's your longitude and latitude.
Thank you. Yeah. Hanyang City. Yeah.
On a sunny day, porpoises worship the waves. The egrets turn around the painted tower, sails past the shadows, and the cranes return to the sound of immortal pipes and flutes. Kui Lang's verses are the only ones left in ancient and modern times, and Fan Lao's feelings are hung in the halls and temples. Drunk, I strike coral and stroke my long sword, leaning against the sky and whistling alone at the peak.
We've all been there.
I know, right? I love that.
Whistling at the peak. Here we go.
That's a rather horny poem to survive the time. But anyway.
I like at the time of the clouds and rain, it's like...
I'm going to have a wank at the wind. But yeah, okay, so there's porpoises mentioned, Hanyang City, and they can date all of these.
Yeah.
And so the fascinating thing, so they've gone through and they've looked at all of these poems, and it's bizarre how many of them talk about worshipping the porpoise. I looked through a bunch of them.
Again, it sounds like masturbation.
Yeah.
What are you doing? Just going to worship the porpoise and then I'll be out for dinner?
Worship the porpoise. So they've got these. They've put all of these poems on a grid where they're located.
Yes, they have.
And then they can and look at this. Like, there's a map of the Yangtze River here, and this is just going back ancient times, like 800 years ago, 600 years ago, back to. And there you can see the poems of the more modern era. Suddenly we've collapsed. So
yeah, absolutely. Like the very similar as the time progresses, if that's what I'm looking at.
Yep, you go around.
Similar, very not similar.
Yeah, exactly. And
so for people listening, the extent of the poetry spread, therefore the river, I assume as well, is quite broad, and it's broad across 6 graphs. It's broad across 5 of them, and then the 6th graph.
That's it.
Way less.
Look. But I just think this is just such an interesting way. Look, what does it tell us?
That's
we could talk about environmental destruction in a whole bunch of ways, and there's lots of different evidence. But it's interesting that we could track some of that decline through literally poetry.
Yeah, it's great.
Like there you go, poets.
It's like they stopped writing poetry in this area about porpoises because they're all fucking dead. There.
Well, that's true. You could do,
No, it makes sense.
So,
other ways to track porpoises.
So there you go.
The world's first anechoic chamber, anechoic.
No echoes?
No echoes. Built in 1947 in Massachusetts. So basically the idea was it was at the time at least the world's quietest room.
Yep.
So deliberately built,
sound recording studio, but this is souped up.
Yeah, it's where we are right now, but on absolute steroids. And so later on in Minneapolis, Orfield Laboratories, which became the site of the Orfield Challenge, beat it. And it had a record of the lowest sound the lowest sound that would work in there was minus 24.9 decibels.
Lowest as in quietest?
Yeah, like the things you couldn't hear below that. It always confused me. I didn't understand how you got minus decibels. But it turns out a 0 decibels probably means you're talking about threshold of human hearing. So anything below it, negative is below threshold of human hearing.
But still like possibly detectable with super microphones or something.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
mega
but-
material,
yeah.
mega instruments and stuff. So Orfield have off and on held the crown for the quietest room in the world. They
Yep.
quite regularly, it's them. So these anechoic chambers basically do what they say on the tin. They get rid of echo. So any sound generated in there just disappears. It's
Well,
absorbed.
it goes into your ears, but then it hits the walls and then just gets sucked in.
Yeah,
So-
and you hear no background resonance. There's nothing. It's just literally dead silent. The only sound in there has to be generated in there.
Yeah.
That's it. So sound comes, as I put it, solely from the sound waves vibrating through the air contained in the room, which is fine. There's all kinds of them, though. Like, I didn't realize this. So I thought, okay, there's a great picture on this article I was reading. It's this weird, wacky-looking angular. It looks like a music studio, but all that, the foam you see on the walls, far more dramatic, different colours, really long spikes.
Oh, different colours?
Yeah, and a lot of them are kind of beige.
Oh.
I don't think that matters. They just beige them for some reason. So there's one in Central Washington University. It's about 4 metres by 4 metres, and the Orfield one's about a bit smaller than that, but not much. But they're a bigger one. So there's one at NASA's Goddard Space Centre. It's large enough to put in huge space communication antennae.
Oh, cool.
Apparently that's relevant. I don't know why. I didn't get into that. There's one at Edwards Air Force Base in California. It can fit the largest of US military planes. So they got a fucking monster one. I don't know why.
I can tell you, a big military plane is going to be loud. Like,
It will be.
I don't know. I don't know if we need a super quiet room to say.
You put it outside and shut the windows.
So are they starting up the plane in there?
I don't know. See, this didn't delve into it because it was just, this is about this more about the what they call the Orfield challenge.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm keen to know about the Orfield challenge.
Oh, you're going to know.
Oh, good.
So when scientists first built these things first, you basically, to make them work the way they do, they experimented with over 1,000 different shapes to line the walls, different kind of shaped sort of foam, fiberglassy foam
Yeah.
materials. And ultimately they discovered that a wedge was the best shape because, how did I put it? Different areas of the wedge capture different frequencies.
Okay.
So higher, I think it's higher pitch at the tip, and then as it gets wider, it
Yeah,
actually
okay. But
absorbs
also,
lower
isn't it
ones.
something like as a sound bounces, it'll bounce directionally into the corner of the wedge? Like it's sort of
Something like
you know,
this,
you can
yeah.
think about like billiard balls
Yeah,
that it sort of just
yeah.
inherently gets trapped into the corner.
Yeah, and apparently they go deeper into the crevices. So it's a combination of the geometry and the materials out of which these things are made. So what they represent, I didn't know about this. They represent what classic physics calls a free field. This is basically the closest real-world equivalent to an anechoic chamber, which is apparently an open grassy field on a windless, dry day. Literally a big empty free field because there's nothing to echo off. So if you stand out in one of these fields and you kind of bellow,
So it's flat.
flat, dry.
So the sound waves, like you bellow, sound waves are just going to keep going
just
away
fuck
from
off.
you.
Yeah.
There's nothing to
Yeah.
bounce back. Oh, okay.
So they call this a free field. So you could scream at the top of your lungs, no echo, nothing would happen. But this is a situation, whether it's artificial or natural, it's not normal for humans to be in.
No, I'm sure.
It's not standard.
So what is the challenge? How long you can stay in there?
It is. Because we're always surrounded by something, hums of air conditioners, like background noise.
I suspect I would be quite low. Like
What if you're with someone else?
oh, that's fine then. That's fine.
Because they did say in one of these, they were saying, you go into the room, they shut the door and the lights are off as well. And I'm like, don't panic, it's going to be fine. Put you in a box.
I wouldn't mind trying a few things though. Like you gotta do your ohms or something like that to hear the background resonance of the universe.
Well, it's quiet enough that basically you can hear your heartbeat or the blood pulsing through your
Oh, that's cool.
ears and stuff, which for some I imagine would be quite calming and for others,
Not calming. Yeah.
because we're used to it. But also apparently because we're so sort of subliminally trained to listen, echoes, they orient us in the real world. Like we literally use them in a way that we don't really think about.
No, of course. I mean, we're not bats, but
No.
you know, it's clearly been shown before that blind people are using echolocation deliberately, either strategically or just using it more.
Yeah.
But we all do it a little bit. Like you can hear when a wall is in front of you if you close your eyes.
And it helps us also just psychologically. We're just used to getting that kind of feedback. So in one of these, you don't. And so, these things were invented because they were like, let's get a handle maybe on what happens when there's no stimulation to the brain, as minimal external stimulation.
They were invented as a psychological tool.
One of the reasons, or at
okay.
least at the moment. And that's what this Orfield challenge is about. It's like, so one way to use it, what's the brain doing at default at rest when there's minimal stimuli? Is there a default setting? Is it delightfully peaceful and quiet and meditative?
Yes. Or do the demons get in?
Well, it turns out people's reactions can vary.
Are you allowed to ethically put crazy people in here? And obviously you don't write that on your ethics application.
We want to put in a few crazy dudes. We don't think we call them dudes. I mean crazy either. The people who are disquieted by matters that others might not be. So this one, the challenge is what caught my attention because it's basically how long can you last in an anechoic chamber. So some humans, it turns out, really don't get on well. Yeah. They're not fans. When they can hear their blood moving through their ears, or they can hear their heart pumping, they can hear their fingers and their bones crack or like little noises.
I thought you were going to say you can hear your fingernails growing. Like that.
Can't you hear that anyway? That's how I get to sleep at night. So I don't count sheep. I listen to my fingernails growing. But a lot of people don't find that comforting, hearing their blood pumping without having to try, or like hearing your heart. Because when you think, you don't really tend to hear your heart.
No.
You got to try pretty hard.
You certainly feel your heart when you've gone for a run or something like that. But actually hearing it,
yeah, and you would apparently. And so there's this YouTuber guy called, I think it's a guy, Cole LeBrunt, tried to break the record for the longest amount of time spent. So the record was 45 minutes.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Like that's within challenge distance. Like that's not, someone's gone in there for 4 weeks. I'm like, I don't care. I'm not beating that record. Like fine.
Until the lights are out as well. You're just
45 minutes. I'll give that a go.
He says, the quote, first few minutes were excruciating. I just tried to keep calm. I tried not to freak out and run out of the room, but it felt like the room was closing in on me and I couldn't breathe.
Wow.
So he had a reaction.
Wow.
But he made an hour and 5 minutes, so 20 minutes over the previous record.
All right.
Imagine the thing you're about to do, 65 minutes in. The first couple of minutes, you're freaking out, trying to keep calm. You feel like the room's closing in on you. Wow. I don't know if that was my opening experience. I mean, I wig out when I have to go into an MRI head first. I'm one of those people who's like, everything's fine.
I feel
everything's fine.
Surely you could do some sort of mantra. Surely a Buddhist monk, you could put him in there for a couple of days or something like that. 1 grain of rice and.
But that might sound a bit tough, but I'm thinking, I reckon I could handle that silence.
All right. Well, look.
Famous last words.
Challenge is there. Let's go find one, and let's see how long you can do versus me. Like we don't have to beat the.
Just put your head in it, just like a box on your head.
Just a head one.
Just your head. Sit here quietly. Promise you won't put rats in there as well.
Oh my god. Well, that was your little bit of science for the week.
Your holiday edition, your special by the pool wearing a bikini edition.
But because you're on holiday, you know that you still have the power to give us the rating that you need to give us.
Yeah, 7 stars on every app, even things that don't do podcasts.
Yeah, go out there and rate it on like a recipe app.
And Uber and Yelp. Is it Yelp still a thing?
I think so.
I don't know. I'm at a restaurant.
And listener, if you've got some topics that you want us to explore,
tell Will.
How would we tell Will?
His number is 0405.
Not like that.
Oh, cheers at a little bit of science.com.au.
Do that. We want your stories.
Yeah, we want to hear from you.
Love you, listener. Enjoy the Pinas Colada.
Oh, and the
Pina Colada.
Pina Coladia.
Pina Coladia.
Of the clay.
Pina Coladi.